Okay, guys, Fivers, since I'm an idiot box, I did not record any audio when talking about my tier list. And the one I did do in my live stream, you can't hear me all that well. So I'm gonna quickly explain my Mortal Kombat 11 tier list and why things are the way they are. We're gonna just start with the D tier. I'm not gonna go into why I think they're low tier, but they are. Actually, I think I might go into why they're low tier. Um, the first low tier person is Devorah, and it's just because, well, who plays as Devorah? Um, Devorah is not fun. She's a chore, and it's really horrible. Uh, the next person on my list, on the D tier list, is Centurion. She just doesn't look like fun, and she just, I don't know, there's something unappealing about that character. I have no desire to play her. The third and final person on the D tier, and it hurts me to say because I used him a lot in Mortal Kombat X, is Shao Kahn. His moves are great, but they're very slow. Um, and that makes him very ineffective in battle. Alright, the C tier is the next to lowest tier for me. The first person on the list is Kano. I used Kano a lot in Mortal Kombat X, and that's why this hurts so much to put him there. He was so much fun to play. I used his commando knife variation, and it seems like they took almost all use of his knife as a main attack out. You can use it in moves, but as far as I can tell, you really can't combo it into anything. So they took what was great about Kano, and they turned him into a grappler. I don't necessarily understand why. Um, that that's my story on Kano. The next person is Cassie Cage. Cassie was one of my mains in MKX, and she was a lot of fun to use. She was fast, her combo strings were easy to pull off. This is the exact opposite. She's very slow. Her combo strings are ridiculously hard to pull off. And she's just unenthusiastic, even in the story mode. She's very unenthusiastic. How do you go from being the one to beat Shinnok to a sort of side character to, again, Liu Kang? Um, Cassie Cage is demoted to the C tier. Last person on the C tier is Garrus, and that's only because I don't use Garrus a lot. He could move up to the B tier if at all. If at all I decide to pick him up and use him. But for me, he's your generic grappler slash muscle character. Next to Jax, but we'll get there. Um, so for me, Garrus is the last person on the C tier. Now let me explain what each tier means from here on out. The B tier, which is what we're gonna talk about next, are the people that I've started to use and have potential to move up to the A tier. And the A tier is people I use a lot but aren't quite top tier. And that's where that's where it becomes slim pickings, and it's open for people to either give me hate or show me love in the comments. Um, so to start out the B tier, people that I haven't really used but I'm hoping to use more is Shao Kahn. Shao Kahn really is a rushdown character. He is only really effective on the inside. He doesn't really have any zoning properties except for maybe his spear toss, and I think he can do a move where he tosses the hammer. Not really sure. But you can really only be effective with Khan on the inside, or as long as the hammer can reach. The next person, and this hurts, is Raiden. Raiden is too long and lanky and awkward for me to be effective with. His moves take a lot of startup time. He does that stupid like he's about to phase through a Kuma phase through you like a Kuma where he lifts his leg to start up the electric fly. And to me, that's an unnecessary animation. He's just very long, lanky, and awkward, and I don't really like it. So that's why he's B tier. The next B tier character that I haven't used a lot is Collector. His moves are just really weird and unorthodox. I'm looking forward to using him more, so there's a possibility he might be able to move up to A tier. But until I use him more and get into the lab with him a little bit more extensively, he's B tier. Next person on B tier is Frost. Frost to me is not really that good, but she has good potential. She is a pretty good rushdown character. Not a lot of range stuff, which is something you would expect from someone that is a cryomancer, right? But really the only projectiles I've seen her use are the ice things that she shoots out of her shoulders occasionally, and the rest is all like rushdown, like turning her hands into blades and spinning. So that really doesn't enthuse me very much. She has potential. That's why she's B tier, because who knows, they couldn't give her a buff in the future. Alright, the last person on the B tier is Jackie Briggs. She's basically Jax with just kicks. And she still spams projectiles. And it's still annoying. I don't need to elaborate on that any further. She does a lot with the Muay Thai clinch. That's why she moves. That's why she's good when you're in close, because you can get in with the clinch and initiate a crushing blow with the final elbow to the top of the head. Alright, now to the A tier. Now guys, I have to warn you, this is where it got really tough for me to go down the line. So for the A tier, we have Jax. Jax is a really, really good rushdown character, but not really good at zoning. So, for me, you have to get inside with Jax to do a ton of damage, because other than the grenade launcher and his arm projectiles, which only come out when you have a substantial amount of heat, only when you have that does he have potential for zoning. So, for me, Jax is good, but I would only use him in certain situations. The next person on the A tier is Cabal. Cabal has the hook swords, which extend his reach extensively. And he's also got the Saw Blade. So he's got potential to do damage on the inside and out. But a good number of his speed moves are blockable and very, very punishable. That's why Cabal is on the A tier. Because I would use him and a lot of his stuff would still get blocked. The next A tier is Sub-Zero. He's got very, very good rushdown. He's got some okay zone. And the reason that I have him on the A tier is because I say he's okay zone because when you have his move Death Sickle Barrage equipped, it does not go full screen or even half. It might go like 3/4 of the screen before the Death Sickles appear and disappear. He's very fast, so he's a great rushdown character. He's average zone, so for me, you gotta be able to do both, and I have to be able to feel secure in using you if I'm going to put you near the top tier. I've won a few matches online with Sub-Zero, but I've also lost quite a few close ones because he's not exactly close enough to where I need his projectile to connect. The next person is Aaron Black. Aaron is a great zoner and he's okay at rushdown. So the reason that I have Aaron Black lower is much like Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero is the opposite of Aaron Black. He's great on the rushdown, not on the zone. So I don't feel safe enough to use him in a tight situation. But his Fatal Blow, as long as the last shot in your six guns connect, you're gonna get that Fatal Blow off. The next person on A tier is Noob Saibot. And the reason that Noob Saibot is on the A tier and not top tier is the fact that his teleport can be blocked. His Fatal Blow is very risky to use, and that prevents you from doing a lot of damage half the time. Noob Saibot's moves are there. They have the shoulder tackle, they have the teleport, they have the cloud ball, and they have the slide. But when it comes down to it and you need that Fatal Blow to connect, all the other person has to do is hold down the block button. Next on my A tier list, we have Katana. She is really, really good. That's why she's super high up on the A tier, because she's great at rushdown and she's very, very good at zoning. But there just wasn't enough space for me to put her up at the top tier. I mean, I could, but that would mean like half the game is top tier. And I don't think that's the case. You can find flaws in Katana's game. And the next and final person on the A tier list, and I'm not gonna elaborate too much, is Liu Kang. Liu Kang is really, really good when you're trying to apply the pressure, but horrible when you are trying to zone somebody out. Liu Kang is not someone that you want to zone someone with. So that is why Liu Kang is good, but he's on the A tier. Alright, guys, the moment you've all been waiting for, my top tier characters in Mortal Kombat 11. The first person on my top tier is Sonya. Her combos are ridiculous, and the amount of damage that they can do is ridiculous. If you were turned off by using Sonya because of Ronda Rousey's lackluster portrayal, you need to pick her up, because as a person with a disability, or just as a person starting out playing this game, you could have a lot of success with Sonya, especially with her dial-up combo possibilities. The next person on the list is Scorpion, and honestly, I have no reason to elaborate on that other than the fact that it's Scorpion. His usual moves are there. One of his moves in another variation is super awesome. He spins his kunai, and it keeps the opponent at the middle of the screen or a little bit further than the middle. When you amplify that with the burning spear, that does more damage. But your regular moves are all there. You have your teleport, you have your spear, and that's all you need. That's all you've needed for 25 years. Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage is exceptionally fast. And it makes for nightmares when you're in close on somebody, as well as his zoning capabilities. His zoning capabilities are super great. And the green force ball, not talking about Reptile because he's not in this game, but the green force ball that you use is almost full screen, and the shadow kick and the flippy kick, which is really what they call it, the flippy kick, is really, really amazing. And I imagine when you do 3 or more of those in a row, you could get a crushing blow out of that, which adds for more dangerous comboing abilities. The next person is Jade. Jade has a ridiculous amount of reach with her bow staff. Her uppercut is very, very dangerous because it can hit you from 3/4 away from the screen, as well as any other attack with the bow, as well as she still has her boomerang and her chakram attacks. I guess she took the place of Kung Jin as using that circular blade, which is awesome. So if you're looking for a rushdown character with great zoning ability, you've got Jade, and she can throw that blade from the air, which is amazing. Also, if you do the nitro kick 3 times or 4 times in a row, you will get a crushing blow, and it's likely that you can combo that with an uppercut or something else for even more damage. Baraka is next. Baraka is very, very good at the rushdown attack, and the reason that Baraka is top tier and not in the B tier, because not in the A tier, because normally he'd be a tier lower, but his moves are exponentially overpowered at the moment, so I would pick him up if you're just starting to play the game, because as soon as they find out that his damage is crazy, NetherRealm Studios might give him a bit of a nerf. Um, his classic blender ability is there. His projectile, the bone shard, is there. And he's also got this ridiculous anti-air where he shoots the bony protrusions out of his shoulders and into the air, which is quite gross, and it's frustrated me a number of times. And finally, we have Scarlet, rounding out my top tier. The reason she's rounding out my top tier is because she and another one of my favorite fighting game characters have a lot in common. She uses a lot of Catwoman's type moves from Injustice. She has a whip move that keeps the opponent away from you, preventing the rushdown opportunities. And she's got great projectiles, like sending blood on the ground and ending at your feet. Or she's got the blood ball, which shoots at you, and she's got a siphon ability, which takes from your life force if you're in range and adds to hers. So that's a bad chick. Alright guys, that was my tier list. I hope that, it's clearer so that you guys can hear my reasonings and explanations behind all this. And let me know in the comments section what you think of my thoughts on these characters are. If you would change them, how you would change them. Like, I have people telling me that Garrus should be higher. Maybe he will when I start using him more. I don't know. But as for right now, that's the way the tier list is. And I look forward to hearing your thoughts. I'll talk to you guys later.